So, I used to fear, and I mean, very recently, I had this really intense fear of like poverty, of losing everything. And I'm realizing that a lot of that came from just being so dependent on others. I was dependent on my employer to get me a paycheck. I was dependent on, the bank to not foreclose on my house if I failed to make a payment, which on a very expensive mortgage. And, you know, I guess what I did about those fears was I quit my job and put up a tent on my land, and I'm so grateful, so happy I did because the fear is gone. I don't care. It's not ideal. I still think there's some sense in building wealth and and setting yourself up in the long run so that you know your your little world is more stable, right? But as far as like that fear of failure that I had not too long ago, so what? It's like it doesn't even bother me. I'm not worried. Um, I'll figure it out one way or another. And it put all kinds of pressure on so many different parts of my life, to be like worrying about financial ruin and worrying about this debt and worrying about just all these different things. And there's still stuff I need to take care of. I've got a land payment to take care of, got a little bit of debt to pay off, but and I've got the mortgage I have to do something about, the house with the mortgage. I got to do something about that place. But now that I'm don't live there, you know um, not like sitting in there full time worrying all the time 24/7 about it, and I'm not you know sitting at my job miserable, feeling like there's no way out and like it's never going to end. I spent years burnt out, and burnout's a real thing. I know that there's a lot of people that are really intense and maybe just haven't had the same experiences I've had that don't believe in burnout. But burnout is like it's an injury. When you work, you know, 60 plus hours a week every week and you don't have a choice and you have to go 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 24/7 and you don't have a choice. It's different when you have a choice. See, because if you have a choice, right, if you're like, okay, I'm going to do some extra so that I can get ahead, or I'm going to do some extra to like make my life better, or maybe you're really passionate about your job and you do extra to out of passion for your job. That's completely different than I have to do this and I have no other choice. And what I found through basically my whole professional career is that I never had a choice. I was always kind of forced to like be grinding every time, and it kind of messed me up because I started with a really good work ethic and kind of degenerated down to this person that hates working for other people. And I think it'll improve with time. It's just now I have to really really focus on self-care and like maintaining my sanity. I can't give the best of myself to an employer anymore. I have to save that for me and for my family and my friends, because if I give it all up for the employer, and all I get out of it is just enough money to live, and I have to buy this house to live in, to work that job and do all these like fulfill all these checkbox requirements, I'm not going to be happy in the end. And I don't mean happy in the sense of like dopamine. I mean happy in the sense of like stability, and some at least the ability to find some kind of fulfillment from what you're doing. Without those things, all is lost. There's no point. And so, that's kind of my purpose now, is to live a fulfilling life, to live a life where I'm able to contribute to other people's lives. That's another thing that I kind of hit me, was I used to think that going to a place would be what would make me happy. And what I kind of realized over time is it's not places. Of course, my phone goes off. It's not places that make you happy. It's people, your relationships to people. At least for me, it is. I do really enjoy places. Places can be amazing, but it's, it's relationships to people. It's love, right? And experiences. Those are the things that make life meaningful. So anyway, that's today's ramble. I'm doing a lot better mentally now that I've got a week left at this job, and I've got a setup on my land, and I'm not worried. I'm just not. I'll figure it out one way or another, and even if I do it by myself, I'll figure it out. And I used to just be so scared. But now I know, like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and it feels so much better. And I have no plan. That's the crazy thing, is I used to always feel like a plan was the way to like feel okay, to know that I'm following through on a plan. I was driving myself crazy trying to follow a plan, and I still have a plan overall, kind of vague. There's like 5 different paths I can take, and as I do things in life, the way that those things work out kind of determine which path I'm taking. It's kind of like a flow chart almost, but I don't feel so scared anymore. I used to feel so scared of just finances and change, and I just don't anymore. And I think also I'm working on shedding possessions, and that's another thing, is that you don't know how much your things own you until you start to get rid of them. And at first you're like, oh, I need this thing, oh, I can't get rid of that. And then you start to realize, you're like, wait, actually most of this I have, like, it's completely unnecessary, because like all you really need is you, and like enough stuff to keep you alive, basically. The most basic things. You really don't need a whole lot. And I'm not saying this just as some like bougie person. Like I've run the gamut. I've been totally homeless, all the way to living in a regular house that I'm able to pay for with a good job. I've done it. I've done that whole spectrum, and I now know, like, you really don't need a whole lot to be happy. So just, yeah, if you're in a rut right now, just know there's always a way out, and you just have to, sometimes you just got to make the jump, and sometimes you kind of like jump and like smash your face on the pavement and slide like 20 feet before you're able to like figure out that, like, hey, you know what, this isn't so bad. But anyway, thanks for watching. Hopefully that was beneficial to you in some way, and I'll see you soon. I think tomorrow I'll have the opportunity finally to edit together the video of building this platform and putting the tent up. So that'll be cool. Stick around for that. Good night.